So I just finished a class and I thought, what good timing to do a video. So this is going to be core and stabilizing muscle work. We're going to do 1 minute of everything, and then you can repeat this circuit once, twice, or thrice, depending on what level of energy and how much work you want to do in that day. All right, so we're going to start on the floor, but let's warm up first. So what you're going to need is a pair of either light or heavy weights, depending on where you're at as far as working out. I'm going to be using 10-pound weights, but if you're just starting out or if you're recovering from an injury, grab some 5s or maybe some 3s, and you can work your way up from there. So just a really quick warm up because we're really just working the core, but let's go ahead and stand shoulder width apart. Have a look down, make sure your heels are parallel. Let's bring the shoulders up and back, slide the shoulder blades down, and just drop the head down and just rotate off to one shoulder. Don't look past the front of the shoulder as you come back and forth. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, and we'll do one more. Excellent. Drop the head back down to center and have a look up, and let's just warm up the shoulder joint. So just nice rounding back. Inhale, exhale, and one more. Awesome. Getting a little wider in your stance. You're just going to sit down a little bit in those knees and just sway side to side. So we're just going to rotate around the spine so your shoulders are nice and relaxed, and then let your arms kind of go. And just sway wherever they want to sway for 3 and 2 and 1. Excellent. Coming back to center, we're going to inhale, bring the arms up. On the exhale, push your hips back, bend your knees, and then just scoop your hands towards your body so your shoulders are rolled forward. And then as you roll up your spine, then you bring up the shoulders and the head. And we'll do that one more time. So nice deep breath in as you come up. Exhale, push the hips back, scoop the hands towards the body, let the shoulders hang forward. And then as you go up in the spine, you're going to roll the shoulders back. Excellent. Give yourself a little rotation. So we're just keeping the toes or the ball of the foot on the floor as you rotate around just to open up in those joints. And we'll do the other side. Excellent. All right, I think that's really all we need. And we're going to start on the floor. We're going to do some core work on the floor. So we're going to start with good old heel taps, and we're going to do 1 minute on each side. So you're going to come down on your mat. You don't need any weights for this one. Come on down. And once you're on the floor, you're going to have your feet hip-width apart. I want you to lift up your hips, drop them down, the shoulders and the head, so your spine is nice and long. And the deal is you're going to lift up the head and the shoulders, and you're going to tap the side of the foot and come right back to center. Now, the heart of the work is by taking the foot further away from the body. So if you're here and you're not really feeling anything going on in your abs, then bring the foots a little bit further forward and tap. All right, so we're going to really, you're bending at the waist here. All right, okay, so one hand behind the head, guys, and let's get started. So 1 minute of this, just the one side. All right, go ahead and lift the head and shoulders off the floor, and let's do it. So off we go. We tap and come back. Now, you're not changing where your shoulder and head is. You're not dropping them down, and you're breathing out as you tap, come back to center. Tap, center, tap, center. Look up to the ceiling so you're not pulling that head. And you're pushing down in the floor right around that belly button. That's the work. You're stabilizing the lower part of you as you rotate the top part of you, so the rib cage and up towards the side. So you're pushing your body into the floor, and breathe out as you hit that foot. Push down in those heels. Push the spine into the ground. That's it. We're almost done. 15 seconds to go. Breathe out as you tap. Good. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Awesome. Come back down. Lift up the hips, drop them down, the shoulder and the head, and we're going to do the other side now. So let's take the other arm behind the head. Lift up the head and shoulders. Ready, and let's go. So tap that side. Again, take the foot further away if you're not feeling it. Right? You're feeling that right around the belly button and to the side of the belly button. Breathe out so you're constantly bracing that ab wall and squeezing the core muscles to stabilize the spine from kind of the rib cage down. Right? You want to keep that pushed into the floor. That's it. Keep going. Breathe out as you tap. Make sure you come right back to center. Get those shoulders right off the floor, guys. Don't let them drop down. Excellent. You're more than halfway. Keep pushing down in the heels to keep that body nice and stable. 20 seconds to go. That's it. Make sure you give yourself that slight moment at the top, right, to hold yourself so your spine is back in line, right? You're landing right back on top. That's it. Keep going for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Drop yourself down to center, lift up the hips, drop them down. All right, we're going into reverse abs now. So you're still hip width apart with the knees and the feet. This time the legs come up, slight bend in the knee, but get them as straight as you can. And we're going to bring the knees towards the wall behind you, right? We're not dropping them down. All right, and make sure that when you come back, the knees are right over the hip joint. You stay here. So we're working lower ab here. Ready, and go. Bring it in and control the return. So the return is as much work as the pull in, right? You're not going super fast and you're not looking to hop the hips up off the floor, right? We're keeping the lower back on the floor. It's a very small movement. And you're just pushing down. Again, this is you stabilizing. That's it. Breathe out as the knees go to the back of the wall. Awesome. 30 seconds to go right from here. Drop your shoulders. I like to put my hands right around that lower ab area so I can actually feel the engagement, feel the tightening up. And you're trying to stop the arch from happening in the back as those knees go back over the hips. That's it. 15 seconds to go, guys. Breathe out. Awesome. Make sure the shoulders are as relaxed as possible. They tighten up during this. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Excellent. Drop those feet down, lift up the hips and drop them down. All right. What are we doing next? I have my little list here. Ooh, leg push. Okay, so this is total counter resistance. This is you with your knees at a 90 degree and your feet at a 90 degree. So you're flexing your ankles. You're going to take your palms, place them on the thighs. And as you come up, you're going to push against your legs, but you're not going to let the legs go. All right, so your legs are pushing back. All right, we're going to hold for a count of 5 at the top, and then we come right back down and drop the head, and then we come right back up again and push. All right, so hip width apart with the legs, guys. All right, let's bring it to a 90 degree with those knees, 90 degree with the feet. Ready, and go. Take it onto the legs and push for 3, 2, 1, drop down. Awesome. Bring them back up. Ready? Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Come back up and push those legs away, but don't let them go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Shoulders come off the floor. Tucking the chin in. Come on up and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Come back up and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Come back up and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down. Come back up and go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more sets, guys. Come back up. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more. Come back up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Oh my God, right? Woo. All right. Excellent. All right, we're going into pullovers now, guys. So this is where you're going to grab either, well, I mean, I'm going to say either 5s or 10s, but I mean, it's whatever you've got at home, number 1. And number 2, what you're capable of holding right now. Maybe if you have any shoulder injuries or sensitive area in the shoulders, you don't want to go with a heavy weight, right? We want to be mindful of the joints. I'm working with 10s. If you've been doing pullovers a lot, you could probably do heavier weights than that. It is 1 minute. But if you're just new to this exercise, it's always best to start low and work your way up, obviously, right? You want to get the form right before you start adding more weight. And you want to make sure your core and your shoulders are nice and strong. All right, so what we're doing is dropping back down the floor, lifting up the hips, dropping them down, the shoulder and the head, your hip width apart with the feet and the knees. We're taking the weights up, and we're going to join them at the top above the chest. All right, so they're gonna meet up at the top, and then you wanna make sure your wrists aren't out, that you curl them in so they're in line with the forearm. And the deal is you're gonna drop the weights without bending the elbow overhead, and then you're gonna push down the floor and bring the weights over to the belly button and back again. All right, they don't touch the body. They stay hovering with a straight arm up and back. You can have a tiny bend in the elbow, but you don't want to bend it fully. All right, guys, so let's get those weights up. Drop your shoulder blades into the floor, and let's start the pullovers. All right, away we go. So dropping them overhead. Exhale as you pull the weights over the body. You can feel that upper back and core engage. It's like the muscles of the body are following the weights, right? As you bring the weights over, just imagine that you're squeezing all the way down and back again. So check those wrists. Make sure they're not rotated outward. You don't have any tilt in the wrist. And make sure you have no tilt in your neck as well. And you're breathing out as you bring the weight over. So really what you're trying to do is stop the arch from happening as you bring the weight back over again. So we're trying to like basically push that spine down into the floor. Now, of course, some of you have more of an arch than others. And I want you to imagine that you're squeezing the muscles around your spine. So just think of it like a girdle that you're squeezing into. And for some of us, we lift up the toes and really push down into those heels. Try and make it so the knees don't come in. Breathe out. Good. You exhale as the weight comes overhead. Push down into the floor as the weights come over, making sure you don't have any extra bend in that elbow at any other position. Exhale, staying out of the shoulders, keeping it all in the upper back and core. Awesome. Keep going, breathe out. Not a super tight grip on the weights, but of course not loose that you're going to drop them on your body. Breathe out as you come over, all the way to the belly button and then back. And that's time. I think I heard the alarm go. Hang on. Keep going, just in case I'm wrong. Hang on. And time. Excellent. All right. Good stuff, guys. Give yourself a little rotation in the wrist once you've dropped the weights and open and close the hands. Now we're going to go into chest press and bridge. So we're going to work some glutes, so nice stabilizers for the hip area. And we're going to work around the pectorals, which are some of the stabilizers for the shoulder joint as well. So chest press, you're going to be in what's called a goalpost position, which is you with your arms extended at a 90-degree out underneath the shoulder joint, right? Just below the shoulder joint. So basically bra line. And what we're doing is bringing the weights together underneath the bra line and come back into that goalpost position. Bridge is you squeezing and lifting up your hips, squeezing the glutes. And I want you to imagine like there's a plank of wood that's glued from your bum all the way up to your shoulder blades. And that entire area goes up and down like a bridge, right? There's no bum coming up first or shoulders coming up first. There's no extra arch. All right, we're going to do those two moves together. So let's go for it. Getting in a goalpost position with the arms, making sure your knees and feet are hip width apart and that your feet are close enough to you that when you find your bridge, you're not looking for distance. We're just looking for, we're not looking for height. We're just looking for squeeze. So you don't have to go up super high necessarily. All right, ready? Let's do it. So lift up, squeeze, come back down. That's it. Breathe out. Now, as you're doing the chest press, have a look and make sure that those wrists are lined up with the forearm. So again, your wrist isn't holding any of the weight. If the wrists are tilted back, then that joint is actually holding some of the weight, and you don't want that. Push down and just imagine that plank that you're pushing into it on the way up and on the way down so that the rib cage comes up at the same time as the glutes. Pushing into the heels, pushing in between the shoulder blades at the top. Breathe out. That's it, just below the neck. Exhale. And then making sure that the weights don't go towards the shoulder. They're going to try and kind of hang out above the shoulders, and you need to make sure they're on just a slight angle, and they're somewhere between your boobs and your belly button. All right? Exhale, push. Good. Keep going, keep going. Let's do one more. And we'll call that time. Excellent. Drop that down. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do bridge, but we're going to do what's called tight rows. So this is you with your elbow tight to the body at a 90 degree at the elbow, and you're pushing and pulling the weight up and down. The tendency is to go on a bit of a 45 degree. Again, that's taking more work into the shoulder joint. So just be aware that you're pulling and pushing from the belly button, and just keep on that angle. All right? So let's do it. It should be the same weight that you use for chest press. Let's get those weights, the elbows right next to the body at 90 degree. And again, check the wrist, make sure there's no angle. And let's go. So we're going to bridge at the same time. So lift and drop. Breathe out. So you're pulling and pushing. I'm going to push the weight, then I'm going to pull them back. Squeeze the glutes as I come up. And making sure I'm keeping that 90 degree with my elbows, and making sure that my forearm and wrist are one straight line as I drive the fists up towards the ceiling, and then pull those weights down. I'm not letting gravity pull them down. I'm in control of the down. So I can feel my bicep and tricep, making sure that I'm doing that nice and steady. And at the same time, I'm thinking about the plank that I'm pushing into. That plank that's glued from my shoulder blades to my bum, that I'm pushing into on the up and the down to keep my spine nice and straight, squeezing those glutes as I come up and breathing out as I come up. Exhale. Good. Keep going, keep going. Keep that 90 degree. That's it. I can't tell. Oh, there it is. There's the time. I'm going to do one more. Awesome. And drop down. Fantastic, guys. All right, so our floor work is done, and we're going to stand up now. And like I said, we're going to do this again, right? So let's stand up, and we're going to do some oblique bends. So come on up. I'll change my camera now. All right. There. Good. Okay, so get this out of the way. Have a sip of water if you'd like. And we're going to start with oblique bends. We need the weight still for two more of the exercises. Okay, so oblique bends. I'm going to be, here, I'll let you see if you can see my feet. Let me just turn that down a little bit. All right. So, for oblique bends, you can be in either a semi-sumo, like a slight sumo, so toes out slightly, or a regular squat position, but you do want to be somewhat wide, but not crazy wide. And you're going to get a feeling of what's best for you. The deal is you're going to bend the knees a little bit so that the weight is not in that joint, so you're really landing in those heels. Hands are going to be either behind the head or fingers at temple. And what you want to do is take the one elbow down as you feel yourself lifting the other elbow up, so that they're a long straight line. And then we're going to squeeze right here to bring the body back up again. We're going to alternate sides. All right, so let's do that. So go ahead and get into position, guys. And you're either going to have hands behind head or fingers at temple. Bend the knees a little bit. All right, you ready? Let's do it. So we're going to come down, up. That's it. Now, the chest is open. You really want to think about widening the in between the elbow area, right? And we're dropping that elbow right to the side. And what the body's going to do is it's going to try and compensate by bringing the hip over. You want to land nice and steady in those heels like you're up against a wall. And as you drop the elbow, you're driving the other one up towards the ceiling to really get that full lengthening of that oblique area. Make sure the knees stay bent, and just keep pushing the elbows back slightly so that you're not coming forward, right? And your tailbone is pointing down, so you're not arching at all in the back. We're up against a wall. That's it. Slide against the wall, and then just squeeze that opposite oblique come up. That's it. And if you're just starting with these, there's a chance you might not feel them, but you will, I promise. That's it. Breathe out. As you come back to that stand, make sure you land the center before you go to the other side, still pushing into those heels. Keep that core nice and tight. We're squeezing the belly button in. Excellent. Breathe out. Breathe out, keeping those hips nice and square. Awesome. Breathing out as you come up, bringing that opposite elbow up high. Good. I want to see what time it is. Keep going, keep going. Good. We're almost done. For 3, 2, 1, and time. Awesome. Give it a roll. Good stuff. All right, we're going to do this thing called core stick. So this is with a light weight. Okay, so a 3 or a 5. And what you're doing here is standing shoulder width apart. I'll do a side view for you. It's as if this weight is stuck in cement, wet cement, and you're having to pull it out. It's stuck in something, and you got to yank it out, but you're not allowed to use momentum to pull it up. All right, so the front view is to the shoulder. So we're dropping down, and we're pulling that weight up. We're going to place it back in and pull it up. So the core and the glutes are going to do the work. Shoulders remain neutral. All right, let's give it a shot, guys. So you got to create your own resistance. Okay, so I want you to pull in like somebody's kind of punching you in the stomach, or somebody's dropping a ball onto your stomach when you're lying down, right? A medicine ball, and you're just standing there. They're just going to drop it down. What would you need to do? Right? You need to brace. I want you to keep that feeling. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Ready? And pull. And then come back down. So the knees slightly bent, and then just pull that thing that's stuck in the ground and pull it up. Come down, pull it up. Now for some of you, you might need to bring the feet a little closer together to really get that sensation. So try hip width apart and pull. So you're squeezing tight, and just think about what you would need to do to pull something that's stuck in the ground in front of you. Keep the arms nice and long. And pull. You don't want to bend down too much. All right, you really want to rely on the core here. And if you're not feeling this, then try a heavier weight for sure. But it really is to you to kind of squeeze in tight and just really use your imagination that you're pulling something out. 9 seconds, guys. Breathe out. And again. Good. And again. And one more. Excellent. All right, roll your shoulders. Last exercise, upright lifts with a semi-sumo. So we're going to work the glutes a little bit, but mostly this is working the stabilizing muscles around the shoulder and working the core. So I'm going to use a 10-pound weight. Again, if you're new to all this stuff, you're going to use a lower weight and work your way up. Semi-Sumo Squat. So you're going to be just on a slight angle with those toes. Generally, it's 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock. The weight is going to be resting in your palms at the chest, so the shoulder joint remains down. We're going to drop into a very shallow squat, and then we're going to push that weight up and overhead, trying to keep the elbows as parallel as possible. All right, if a sumo squat kills your hips, you can go into a regular squat position and drive up from there. All right, we're going to do 1 minute of this. You ready? So let's get into position. Again, this is you up against a wall, soft knees, so you're going to bend the knees a little bit. And if you can handle a more deep squat, go for it, but you don't need to. All right, this is a very joint-friendly workout. All right, ready? Let's go. Coming down. Now push that weight up and come back down. So you know you're in the right sumo. I need to open up my legs a little bit more because you're going to feel the push, the drive of the body up in the heels. If you feel it only in the balls of the feet, like I did earlier, you're going to need to widen your stance. And the other part of the work is most definitely making sure that those elbows remain as parallel as possible, meaning you don't want them out here, right? You want to make sure that there is parallel as you can handle through the whole process. And again, remember you're sliding up and down a wall, and breathe out as you bring that weight up. And the weight is going not necessarily overhead, but just on a slight angle. Coming up above the head, yes, but not directly over. And because we're trying to do the stabilizing muscles of the shoulder joint, we're keeping the joint down. And we're just working those muscles around it. So the shoulder joint itself shouldn't rise up. Let's do one more. Awesome, and drop down. Beautiful, you can release that weight. Awesome, guys, that's it. So you can do that again and then do that again. This can be a 3-circuit workout for sure. We'll do a little bit of a cool down here, but if you're gonna keep on going, you can stop the video now and go back. And all I'm asking you to do is do a little shoulder roll. At the end, we're gonna basically do what we did in the beginning. Bring the arms back. Good, and then just like the warm-up, we're gonna drop down and just rotate around that spine. and then let the arms go. You've got a little bit of a bend in the knees. Fabulous. All right, stop right here. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, push your hips back, scoop the hands towards you, drop yourself down, and then slowly roll the spine up, then the shoulders, and then the head. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Give yourself a good stretch. And then exhale, push the hips back. Hang out here for just a second, and then scoop the hands towards the body and roll those shoulders up. Awesome. Give yourself some arm swings, and you're done. You're done. Good job, man. All right, I'm going to see where the recording button is. It is there. Okay, I hope that was good. I hope it was fun, actually. And yeah, just do it again, man, if you want. All right, otherwise you're good. That was a good workout. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.